The topic of today's video is a little bit of a last-minute decision. Our first idea was to take you with us into the city and we would show you some of our favorite places of Ghent. But that was before we saw the weather forecast. Apparently there's a heat wave today.
Yep, it's super hot.
It's super hot. I think it's 32 or 33 degrees, which is very, very unusual for Belgium. So going hiking in the city did not seem like a very good plan.
Nature is always a better option when it's hot.
Well, we had a second choice that maybe we could show you a little bit of our neighborhood. But there happens to be a town fair where we are now. And we already made a video about the town fair a couple of days ago, so that was not a good solution at all.
And also it's too hot to be walking around with like 10,000 other people. So nope, nope, nope.
So then this morning when I was writing a blog post, I came up with an idea. I have an idea. What if we made a video about the meaning of the stars of French naturist campsites? I guess that some of you don't really like to read and prefer to watch a video. Or definitely that some of you are planning a trip to France this summer. So why not cover this topic in one of our daily vlogs? And it would also give us the opportunity to find a nice place in the shade and nature instead of in the city. Honestly, we have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with campsite ratings, because when we travel, a lot of our experience depends on things that are very hard to rate and that can be very difficult from time to time. For example, atmosphere. For example, the people that we meet, the things that we do. It could be if we went to the same place at another time, our experience could be completely different. So how can you rate this in a star system? And that is where the naturist campsite in France, the rating of the naturist campsites in France, is actually quite a decent rating, because they only focus on tangible things. They only focus on facilities, on activities, things that are basically the same year round. To give you an idea what the different stars for campsites mean in France, my lovely assistant will give you all the specifics.
Let's start with the one-star campsites. The only two requirements that you need for a one-star campsite is to have toilets and showers. And I have to say, hot water is not a requirement. So I don't think we've ever visited a one-star campsite. They're also the clubs or the very small ones. Two-star campsites. To qualify for a two-star campsite, hot water should be available and also electric power points. Three-star campsites. As of three-star campsites, you will be noticing a big difference. For example, the pitches. The pitches will be larger, around 80 square meters. Also, the staff at the reception will speak at least 2 different languages. You will be able to buy food on the campsite or in a nearby store. The facilities will be clean. You will be having hot, clean showers. Also, probably there will be a children corner. You will have sport facilities, maybe a restaurant here and there. 4-star campsites. The difference between a 3-star campsite and a 4-star campsite will mainly be in the facilities. You will have more shops, more restaurants, probably more than one swimming pool, more than one slide. Maybe you will have a sauna or a wellness complex where you can relax and chill out. Also, the pitches will be larger than a 3-star campsite. So it really is the difference in the facilities. 5-star campsites. These campsites are the best of the best, the top of the bill, the crème de la crème if you think about campsites. While 4-star campsites, they stand out in one thing, these 5-star campsites stand out in everything. They have all the luxury that you can think of, facilities, swimming pools, restaurants, wellness. Just think about it and you will find it in a 5-star campsite. And in France, you only have 2 5-star naturist campsites, and this is Bélizy and Le Sérignan Plage Nature.
So based on the number of stars that a campsite has, you have more or less an indication of what the facilities will be or how many facilities there will be. But you can learn more from these stars. For example, if you look at how many facilities you need to qualify as a 4-star or 5-star campsite, it's obvious that those campsites will be much larger than the average campsite. So if you're looking for a quiet, relaxed place, you might want to look into the more like the 3 or 2-star campsites. And also, a lot of facilities are very interesting for families. So if you're traveling with a family, you might want to look towards 4 or 5-star campsites. Whereas if you want to avoid children, you might want to look at 2 or 3-star campsites. And then there's also the price. The price is very much connected to the number of stars. The higher the number of stars a campsite has, the higher the price normally will be.
But also you have another rating system, like the Clay Verde, for example.
Yes, there are different other rating systems, and a very important one is the Clay Verde. It shows how environmentally aware a campsite is. So if they have the Clay Verde label, it means that they actively work towards waste management, water management, energy management. So yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good thing for the future. So what do we conclude of all this?
That is a very good question.
We think that the stars are interesting as an indicator, but also not much more than that, because your joy and your fun depends on other factors as well that are not really measurable. We had fun at 2-star campsites as well as on 5-star campsites. So how can we tell which one is better than the other? I think it's important, if you're looking for a place, to read the reviews of other people and to listen what other people have to say.
Definitely. And if it's all a little bit too overwhelming, all the things that you find online, you can just send us a message on our social media, on our website, via our email, and you can just ask us. We've been to a couple of campsites in France, so just ask us and we are happy to help you out.
We hope that this video was interesting for you, that you learned a couple of things about French campsites.
If you did, leave it in the comments. If you didn't, also leave it in the comments.
So we are gonna enjoy this wonderful heat wave.
Yeah.
But first
things first.
First things first. Getting closer.
Getting there.